we're going to explore several options for how to stretch our adductor muscles. These muscles actually attach on the other side of our knee joint, as well as on this side of the knee joint that's closer to my body, and come up and come right into that inner groin part. The exercises I have for you are not only lying down or a supine version, I also have several seated options, whether you're on a chair or on the floor, and lastly, a standing option. As you explore these stretches, make sure you are always finding your breath. Maintain a gentle but comfortable pull and see what serves you best. Always meet your body of the day. Enjoy. This is the lying down version of an adductor stretch. What you're going to go ahead and do is come to your back, put your feet together, and let your knees fall to the side. Sometimes this can be too aggressive of a stretch for the inner part of our legs, letting our legs fall to the side like this. So by simply placing some pillows or a comforter on the outside part of your hips, that can minimize the amount of external rotation or opening that we're getting through our legs. If at all you feel like this position is putting any strain through your back, or even maybe a little bit of strain through your hips as well, you can do a simple modification by putting a block or a pillow right underneath your feet. This elevates our feet a little bit, which creates a nice posterior tilt of our pelvis, and then let your feet open. So here's some modifications for a supine adductor stretch. I have two options for how you can do a seated adductor stretch. The first option is simply just putting your feet together. It's the very traditional version, letting your knees fall out to the side. Let me go ahead and kind of turn to the side so you can see the side angle, because this is going to play into one of the modifications. So sitting here, I want to keep my torso nice and tall. As I maintain that upright torso, I'm going to bring my chest, not collapsing, but bringing it forward towards the ground, kind of envisioning a space that's maybe 6 inches to 12 inches in front of my feet, bringing that down until I start to feel a stretch through my inner thighs. I think it's okay to gently pull on your feet to go ahead and get that transition forward. Oftentimes where people go wrong with this stretch when they're sitting is they look kind of like this, okay? So my knees are pretty close together, or even if I can get my knees down, I'm really getting a deep round through that lumbar spine. That tells me that we have some tightness that's not allowing our pelvis to translate forward. A simple fix is to elevate your hips so they're higher than your ankles. So even if my knees are all the way up here with my hips elevated above my ankles, I can still go ahead and get that pelvis to transition forward. So again, I get into my position, feet together, knees come down to the side. I sit up nice and tall, and then I go ahead and transition myself forward to get a nice pull through that inner thigh. If I can't reach the ground, I might put a chair in front of me to go ahead and support myself so that I'm bringing that chest and torso forward and not collapsing like this. As soon as I collapse, that allows my pelvis to tilt backwards, and then I lose that stretch through my inner thighs. Now, this is a version of the stretch I don't find that's often covered. However, I have really liked utilizing this, especially when I am at work. Any stretch I can do sitting, I think is really, really great, because that's what I do a lot of my day, unfortunately, even as a physical therapist. So to get that inner thigh, you're gonna go ahead and come to the front of your chair. You're gonna separate your legs out to the side. Here, I'm going to block my hand against this right leg as I twist my torso away and kind of push my hand away, opening. Here I can feel a nice stretch all the way into that inner thigh. With this position, I wanna make sure I'm sitting up tall, but that I'm not kind of craning through my shoulder or neck, so that I'm gently pushing that out. Let me show you what that looks like on the other side. So again, ankles are nicely underneath knees. I'm gonna go ahead and take my hand gently against my knee joint or inner thigh if your knee joint does not like pressure on it. I'm gonna straighten that elbow and kind of push that leg away. And then where the magic is I'm twisting my torso, not the chair. I'm twisting my torso away to get a nice stretch through there. Now we're gonna go ahead and explore doing the adductor stretch in a standing position. So what you're gonna go ahead and do is step your feet out nice and wide. If you have any balance issues, I recommend doing this in front of a countertop. I like to have my feet about as wide as my wrist would be if I held my arm out to the side. But everyone's kind of different. We just want enough space so that when you weight shift to the side, you have room to do so. So with my feet pointed forward or no more than 45 degrees turned out to the side, you're gonna go ahead and bend your one knee, keeping the other knee nice and straight. As I bend this knee, I keep my upright torso and I lean towards that straight leg, which increases or intensifies the stretch on the inner part of my thigh. So let me show you on the other side. Standing nice and tall, bending my knee, not doing any type of rotation like this. Now, I lean towards that straight leg and I'll start to feel more of a stretch on that inner thigh. So try that out and see how it feels for you.